Good morning. How are you this morning? Hopefully well. All right, so we're still in Job this morning, and we are going to start where Eliphaz responds to Job's cries. Okay. Eliphaz's response continues. Job 5, 1 through 27. Cry for help, but will anyone answer you? Which of the angels will help you? Surely resentment destroys the fool, and jealousy kills the simple. I have seen that fools may be successful for the moment, but then comes sudden disaster. Their children are abandoned far from help. They are crushed in court with no one to defend them. The hungry devour their harvest, even when it is guarded by brambles. The thirsty pant after their wealth. But evil does not spring from the soil, and trouble does not sprout from the earth. People are born for trouble as readily as sparks fly up from a fire. If I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him. He does great things too marvelous to understand. He performs countless miracles. He gives rain for the earth and water for the fields. He gives prosperity to the poor and protects those who suffer. He frustrates the plans of schemers so that the work of their hands will not succeed. He traps the wise in their own cleverness, so their cunning schemes are thwarted. They find it dark in the daytime, and they grope at noon as if it were night. He rescues the poor from cutting the word of the strong, and he rescues them from the clutches of the powerful. And so at last the poor have hope, and the snapping jaws of the wicked are shut. But consider the joy of those corrected by God. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin, for the wounds he also bandages. He strikes, but his hands also heal. From 6 disasters he will rescue you. Even in the 7th he will keep you from evil. He will save you from death in time of famine, from the power of the sword in the time of war. You are safe from slander, and you have no fear when destruction comes. You will laugh at the destruction of famine. Wild animals will not terrify you. You will be at peace with the stones of the field, and its wild animals will be at peace with you. You will know that your home is safe. When you survey your possessions, nothing will be missing. You have many children. You will have many children. Your descendants will be as plentiful as grass. You will go to the grave at a ripe old age, like a sheaf of grain harvested at the proper time. We have studied life and found all of this to be true. Listen to my counsel and apply it to yourself. Job's second speech, a response to Eliphaz, Job 6, 1 through 7, 5. Then Job spoke again. If my misery could be weighed and my troubles could be put on a scale, they would outweigh all the sands of the sea. That is why I spoke so impulsively, for the Almighty has struck me down with his arrows. Their poison infects my spirit. God's terrors are lined up against me. Don't I have a right to complain? Don't wild donkeys bray when they find no grass, and oxen bellow when they have no food? Don't people complain about unsalted food? Does anyone want the tasteless white of an egg? I laugh every time I hear that. My appetite disappears when I look at it. I gag at the thought of eating it. Job would not like emails for breakfast. Oh, that I might have my request, that God would grant my desire. I wish he would crush me. I wish he would reach out his hand and kill me. At least I can take comfort in this, despite the pain. I have not denied the words of the Holy One, but I don't have the strength to endure. I have nothing to live for. Do I have the strength of a stone? Is my body made of bronze? No, I am utterly helpless, without any chance of success. One should be kind to a fainting friend, but you accuse me without any fear of the Almighty. My brothers, you have proved as unreliable as a seasonal brook that overflows its banks in the spring when it is swollen with ice and melting snow. But the hot weather arrives, the water disappears, the brook vanishes in the heat, the caravans turn aside to be refreshed, but there is nothing to drink, so they die. The caravans from Tema search for this water. The travelers from Sheba hope to find it. They count on it, but are disappointed. When they arrive, their hopes are dashed. You too have given no help. You have seen my calamity, and you are afraid. But why? Have I ever asked you for a gift? Have I begged you for anything of yours for myself? Have I asked you to rescue me from my enemies, or to save me from ruthless people? Teach me, and I will keep quiet. Show me what I have done wrong. Honest words can be painful, but what do your criticisms amount to? Do you think your words are convincing when you disregard my cries of desperation? You would even send an orphan into slavery or sell a friend. Look at me. Would I lie to your face? Stop assuming my guilt, for I have done no wrong. Do you think I'm lying? Don't I know the difference between the right and the wrong? Is not all human life a struggle? Our lives are like that of a hired hand, like a worker who longs for the shade, like a servant waiting to be paid. I too have been assigned months of futility, long and weary nights of misery. Lying in bed, I think, when will it be morning? But the night drags on, and I toss until dawn. My body is covered with maggots and scabs. My skin breaks open, oozing with pus. Job cries out to God. Job 7, 6 through 21. My days fly faster than a weaver's shuttle. They end without hope. O God, remember that my life is but a breath, and I will never again feel happiness. You see me now, but not for long. You will look for me, but I will be gone. Just as a cloud dissipates and vanishes, those who die will not come back. They are gone forever from their home, never to be seen again. I cannot keep from speaking. I must express my anguish. My bitter soul must complain. Am I a sea monster or a dragon that you must place me under guard? I think my bed will comfort me, and sleep will ease my misery. But then you shatter my dreams and terrify me with visions. I would rather be strangled, rather die than suffer like this. I hate my life, and I don't want to go on living. Oh, leave me alone only for my few remaining days. What are people that you should make so much of us? That you should think of us so often, for you examine us every morning and test us every moment. Why won't you leave me alone, at least long enough for me to swallow? If I had sinned, what have I done to you, O watcher of all humanity? Why make me your target? Am I a burden to you? Why not just forgive my sin and take away my guilt? For soon I will lie down in the dust and die. When you look for me, I will be gone. Okay. That is today. That is January 20th in the chronological Bible. All right, let's switch to Trim Healthy Mama. 100 Days of Inspiration. I gotta update the day here. Day 20. No school again here in West Virginia where I am. Because of snow. It's icy, yeah. Yeah, it snowed here. Plow truck just went by. All right. Day, what? How did I get here? That's not right. Day 20. Not again. It's time to cook supper. Not again, you sigh. Why can't I have a break from cooking night after night? Preparing a meal for your family is not an insignificant undertaking. It's not a waste of time. It is very much part of your mothering anointing. We see a beautiful depiction of a godly woman in 1 Timothy 5:10, which gives a description of her good works. If she has brought up children, if she has shown hospitality to strangers, if she has washed the saints' feet, if she has assisted those in distress, and if she has devoted herself to every good work. The word brought up is technotropheo and means to cherish, nourish, and give food to children. This is all about food. This means spending a lot of time in the kitchen. It's all part of the plan, and the bigger those children get, the more they want to eat. Make every meal a love affair. Don't do it with resignation, but with revelation. You have the privilege of feeding your children nourishing food. You are gathering them together around your table again. You are also paving the way to feed them food that will nourish their soul and spirit. You are teaching them about life and passing on values to the next generation. There is too much fast food eating in our nation already. If you don't lovingly cook meals at home and pass on this tradition, what will the next generation do? Nancy. I have learned in the last year and a half to love to be in my kitchen, to enjoy my kitchen that was given to me, to enjoy preparing meals. Do I always love it? No. Sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. Sometimes I'm too busy. But I've learned, for the most part, to enjoy spending time in my kitchen, to enjoy the time I'm given there. I like to throw on a podcast, stick my earbuds in, and just go to town and then enjoy the process of cleaning it up. It's a mindset. And if you make that intentional mindset to find joy in those things, you'll enjoy it a lot more. Is the it's a New Living Translation, 1 year chronological Bible expressions. It's on my Amazon store. There's a link to it. It's like $20. It's not a bad price, and it's great. This is my second time through it, and I absolutely love the chronological version. It's so much easier to follow when it, flows from beginning to end. All right, narrow expectations. If there is one lesson I have learned in my life that helps keep my joy around, it's this. I need to lay down my expectations. This has helped me immensely in my marriage of 20 years and in my health journey as well. 1 Corinthians 13 tells us that love isn't self-seeking. That means when I show acts of love to my husband, I should not expect the same back. Don't get me wrong, I get plenty of love for my husband, but sometimes it isn't shown in quite the way I'm hoping. It's easy to miss the joy if I'm self-seeking and have narrow expectations. Do I expect flowers? Perhaps I don't receive them, but fail to notice he always puts gas in my car for me. If I choose to dwell on the lack of flowers, cards, poems, or letters, good grief, I've spent years yearning for poems and letters. I cannot imagine my husband writing me a poem. I would die. I would die if my husband walked out here this morning and handed me a poem. I would keel over in this chair and be gone from this earth forever. But yet, like she says, he takes care of things around the house. He does the laundry for me. He does all of those things, and that means more than a poem, trust me. I can keep a straight face. Maybe a haiku faces. Oh, what about your weight and your health expectations? Are you so determined to lose 1 or 2 pounds every single week that you fail to notice that your nails and hair are healthier? Maybe you don't take notice of the afternoon nap. Then don't maybe you don't notice you don't need to take that afternoon nap. Maybe you passed on the potato chips at a work function for the first time. Don't let expectations ruin the joy God wants you to experience. I love that. That's right, Faith. He puts away the dishes in the dishwasher every single night. All right. That was from Pearl. Hard work won't hurt me. Today my muscles ache with a healthy pain from working out with some friends. Even though I am sore, I almost like the feeling. It tells me that I worked hard. But what's even better than a physical healthy pain is often an emotional healthy pain. My mind might ache if I focus on something difficult for hours at a time, but when I finish, I know that I worked hard. Meadow. Okay. Thanks for joining me for devotions. I'm really enjoying this book. It's very interesting, the perspectives of, I relate most to Pearl and Serene. Meadow, I relate some to. Is more old school, and I want to be old school the way she is. And some of the things she says, I'm like, that's an interesting perspective. She puts things in a way I don't normally think of. She's got a great perspective. I have a different outlook towards my kitchen now. Absolutely. Let me read through the comments here. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's very traditional and very old school, and that's amazing. I love it about her. No school here because of COVID. I made dinner for the grandkids the other night. They asked for seconds. I had forgotten how rewarding cooking was. The smiles reminded me of the rewarding feeling of raising my 5 children. Absolutely. 5 children. I can't imagine. Y'all are amazing. It'd be a lot more joyful if the kids didn't decide to start arguing and fighting or sitting under my feet while trying to make a meal, especially dinner. Meredith, how young are your little ones? Think about it this way. When Marin is complaining over what I'm making for dinner, saying, but I don't want whatever. I don't want to have chicken and potatoes tonight. I wanted whatever. I'm not going to eat. She'll say, I'm not going to eat. Fine. Don't eat. I don't care. I don't care. But she often will complain. What do we have for dinner before I'm even cooking? What do we have for dinner? So that she gets the opportunity to talk me out of it and change it into something different before I even make it. And I thought the other night, she walked into the kitchen. I hadn't even started cooking dinner yet, and I stopped her. I snapped at her, and I knew I shouldn't have, but I snapped at her. I said, "Don't." She hadn't even done anything yet. I'm like, "If you're here to argue about what I'm making for dinner, just go back to your room." She's like, "Fine." She left, and then I thought to myself, someday, when she's out of the house and gone and making her own meals for her own family, I'm going to wish she were here arguing with me over dinner, and I'm going to wish she were here snapping at me. Maybe I won't miss that part. Maybe I won't miss the Tina-tude. But someday I'll miss her complaining about what I'm cooking. I know for sure I will. And you will too, Meredith. You'll miss the kids fighting in the kitchen and sitting under your feet trying to cook. When you don't have anybody to trip over in the house, you'll miss it. Yes, Pearl and Serene. Their mom is Nancy. I will miss some of it, Meredith. I won't miss the arguing, but I'll miss the interrupting my focus. Sarah's like, great, thanks a lot, KJ. Now I'm crying for the day. All right, you guys. For breakfast this morning, I have planned a coffee avocado shake. I have not had a shake in a while. I'm going to have a shake today. I'm starved half to death, and I'm somewhat regretting that a shake is on my menu plan this morning, but it's on my menu plan. I have the ingredients ready. I have the stuff available, and I'm going to make it. And when it's done, I'll be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. It was fine that I chose this. I really want some bacon and eggs, but I'm not going to have it. So, all right, you guys, I love you all. Thanks for joining me for our daily devotions, and I will see you back for more devotions tomorrow morning. All right, guys, I'll see you soon for breakfast. Bye.